It's a counter against Promise, but what about Estes?
It's damned if you do, damned if you don't. Echo's gonna have to play out of their minds to recover from game 1 and to make the most out of the statement Valera pickup, now played by the lover boy, Yawi. Here's game 2 in this best of 7. It's the grand finals, Echo versus BLACKLIST International. Oh my Venus rocking that M3 skin.
So I'm wondering too, you know, with like the way that this Valera is going to work for Yawi, it's going to be great to be landing these fireballs like we see him right now on Haji, you know, getting those stacks, already forcing out a flicker early on. Yep. The early game is really good for Echo.
It's a really strong laner.
It's a strong, the poke is there. So if they can utilize this early game power, kind of power play, it might work out for them. But this is already Yawi getting caught out a little bit here by Edward, but the backup is there from Sanford, all just for that Lithuander.
Oh, Yawi putting the battle in Battle Mage. I've never seen a Valera so aggressive ever since his re-debut in Season 4.
Yeah, the thing about it is that there's no way BLACKLIST can deal with Yawi on the early game. That's why he's been playing really, really aggressive, especially against an S10 and a Promise. Like, what do? You're just standing there on ground and you're walking over the flames of the Valera. Literally, ground is lava.
Man, not only that, but too, one of the good things I see about this Valera, especially against the Feramis specifically, is when you have that go signal from BLACKLIST International, at least you can push them away, right?
Yeah.
At least you have that.
Yep.
So that could end up playing really well for them, especially around the objectives later on.
And so far, Yawi able to survive a potential death. Wise caught him with a really good headbutt. But that wasn't even without Vengeance Flames quite yet, so he did burn his flicker. We're about to see first turtle just yet. Sanford trying to get here his level 4, trying to get consecration. So far, I'm liking what Echo's doing. They're nipping it at the bud. They're being over-aggressive while they can.
Yeah, you definitely have to just take advantage of this early game power that you have over you. Can they secure the first objective of the game, though?
Oh.
And it's Sanford that grabs the turtle. Carl Teasy's going to eat up Wise. Wise gets quite low. First blood over to Sanji, and now the focus on Edward. There's the sustain we were just talking about. Do they have enough firepower to get the kill? Edward's in trouble. Does he survive? And no, he doesn't, because Sanford comes in flexing on him.
Maybe that's the key, you know? If you cannot burst the initial HP bars coming out from Cold Altar, just to slow them down. There's too much slows coming out from Echo, and BLACKLIST cannot run away, even with the additional movement speed from the ultimate of the Promise. So this is going to become a problem here in the mid game for BLACKLIST, because the way you want to fight against Echo is, again, you know, it's overtime, damage over time. But with these slows from both Valera and Lilia, it might be just too much, because there is still a Claude that is on the lineup here for Echo.
And Oh My Venus on that SS can really only do so much.
Yeah.
You can only be in one place at any given time, and you have to choose your fights. But the way Echo is going, this pace, it's up their tempo.
Not only that, but once one of these two, whether it's Yawi Sanji that gets the Ice Queen wand, whew, that's going to be a lot to deal with.
There's too much red pings coming happening for BLACKLIST.
Yeah, it's gonna feel tough for them.
I can't move. What is this?
League Ops. What's happening with the net?
The floor is lava. It doesn't feel like lava. Oh, forced out a heavy spin.
So you're playing a 3MS. What are you on about?
Yep. So that's the joke for those at home. You're super slowed. That's why it feels like you're lagging.
Yeah, it feels like 120, but it is 3MS. So BLACKLIST International, they do have sustain, but there is damage to the side effect of Sanji, though.
Sanji going to use the black shoes. Going to be just fine here. Little push and pull between both teams. That's what we're going to see, right? We're going to see also just BLACKLIST International bunch up together, the Uube, as we like to call it, and coined, I think, by the Tagalog, the Filipino stream.
Yes.
So that's, again, it is, in a way, it's an advantage for them, but Echo has the right tools to counter around that. Sanford, though, just being annoying here for Wise. Second turtle of the game, it does get taken over to Carl Teasy, so that's going to be 2 for Echo.
So far, so good. Echo on the road to recovery. They have put BLACKLIST on the back foot. They're playing defensively. All this while, Echo calling the shots across the map.
Echo, the thing that they need in this game. The thing that you need here in this game is time. Time for BLACKLIST to be able to farm up these items. Because there is a recovery from BLACKLIST International. If OHIP gets his items, they can just group up, you know, do the classic Uber strat and push down lanes. Even if Echo fights, if BLACKLIST is not there to deal enough damage against BLACKLIST, you know, at some point BLACKLIST will overload the damage coming out from Sanji with the amount of heals that they can have from both the SS and the Paramis.
Well, both teams clearly have an advantage. They also have their own cons with this composition. And as everybody, at this point, things are pretty much just stale until the next turtle possibly comes up and they fight, because at this point, BLACKLIST International really hasn't contested anything.
Yeah.
Sanji going to use the black shoes, going to be just fine here. Edward now making his way to the team.
Oof, look at this, they can walk over the map.
And he doesn't have the Ice Queen wand yet.
Yep.
Oh!
Uh-oh.
Forced out the sprint from OHIP. Y'all see that? Detna's welcome?
Yep, it was a surprise bite from Carl TZ. OHIP did not expect that. But look at this, even the Barats has his own version of slow.
Oh.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Haji, though, goes in. There's the heal. Already getting the flicker out, too. Echo just controlling this side of the top lane.
This is the answer that we are looking for from Echo. The slows are starting to hurt BLACKLIST with the sustain and the damage. Yes, you have that for Black. But Echo is just overloading BLACKLIST at the moment, and BLACKLIST is getting to that point wherein he can start joining the fight. As long as he's able to get his items up, BLACKLIST has a problem.
Amazing recovery by Echo here. The Orcas have owned a majority of the map. Now 3/4 of it is blue. And all 3 turtles so far in the 6-minute game have gone Carl TZ's way. Actually, the second one went to Uranus. Who went
Okay.
to Sanford.
I mean, look at this. They are going to be trying to make a play here on Edward, sandwiching him in, but they know
that jump.
that Yawi was there. There's going to be the pushback, so he should be fine. Conceal committed as well, but it's going to be a turret over here for Echo. Cross-map play, though, looking to try to get this topside turret. Sanford holding 3 back here.
Whoa.
Quite massive. Should be fine even with that consecration, so they do lose the turret. BLACKLIST International grabs that one. But there you go, mid-side, Echo grabbing another one for themselves.
7-11, not the store, but the time for the golden staff from the Claude. It is now up for Echo. So start looking at team fights here. For the blue side, will BLACKLIST. It will try to scour for more farm. Radiant Arbor is now picked up on Wise. That's going to reduce the amount of damage that he takes, but it doesn't solve the mobility problem that they will be having during these fights.
I mean, that's what explains the 3 tough boots.
Yeah,
Yep.
and if you just saw that, Yawi just picked up the Ice Queen wand. So this is where we see that, you know, very frustrating slows coming out, and then you have a bunch of poke to deal with if you're BLACKLIST International.
Now you feel a spike for BLACKLIST International. It's hard to move around the map.
Oh.
Well, Echo just, you know, have complete reign over the jungle.
Look at that
BLACKLIST.
3-man squad up top. That's a lot of damage between Yawi, Benny, and Sanji. And then Carl TZ just going to steal.
Oh, look at that.
Buff!
Just like that, there's everything on the floor, and Edward can't get away. Forcing out the flicker already from Haji, and another turret goes down. Echo playing perfectly right now.
Agent Zero got zeroed.
Yep, it was an Esmeralda that they did take down for Echo. You know, tankiness is not a problem if you can't walk. If you can't move, you just stay on the ground. And, you know, BLACKLIST constantly hit the Esmeralda, and it just took, what, 1 or 2 seconds for them to be able to take out Edward.
Yeah, this is going to be a good position for Echo to just possibly even take this first Lord of the game. This is already about half health here. Wise knows that they're there, but I don't think he can get there in time. And there you go, Carl TZ is securing the Lord.
Yep. You know, BLACKLIST at this point, they're overloaded. Even though they have the right tools to deal with Echo, Echo just has so much farm on their side. But BLACKLIST is still, you know, still recovering from the mobility problem, but now Echo has the damage.
I mean, 5,000 head, almost 6 in 9 minutes, and that Lord coming in super free. The way BLACKLIST drafted, if they started strong, would be an amazing way to go. But right now, their draft, literally, all it allows them to do is to not lose.
Yep.
There's no way for them to win. Not here, not now.
And now you start looking at the, you know, the options here for BLACKLIST. Wave clear is abysmal on their side. Even though it is an Esmeralda and an Aetherfill, they can only clear 1 lane.
Yes. Yes, I think I was said yesterday, the way I put it, they'll trash wave clear.
Trash wave clear. I reworded it.
Oh!
Okay, Wise gonna have to heavy spin out of there, but going back to the point, the wave at clear potential, pretty bad.
It's so hard because look, Hodge has to put himself in danger.
No, not sugarcoated. It's not a pretty bad. It's abysmal.
Yeah, Hodge has to put himself in danger. Oheb too. Edward has to dance around him for seconds at a time.
Well, now Lord on the top side. Can they get the turret out of this? Edward trying to get some attention. Gonna back off here. Lord does go down. Blacklist International able to hold on to the top turret.
Okay, Blacklist, they're sustaining. If they don't have to run away inside their base, because it's their base, if they don't run away, I mean, if they're not forced to run away, they can sustain, they can stand their ground. But do keep in mind that Benecuti did not use Blazing Duet at all, and they had to commit the ultimate from Oh My Venus just from the glooms and you know the fire that has been putting out by Echo from Yawi.
In all fairness, the way Echo drafted, I love the shadow energies, and I love just how rapid fire Yawi can take out the fire. It's a pretty good counter to the Uber strat.
I mean, not only that, but they both have the Ice Queen now. So, and it looks like, I mean, Yawi's sole mission is to just slow them down with the fireballs.
Right now he's building tank items. He's like, okay, boys,
I got it.
I've done my mission. They're slowed. They're gonna be slowed up, up until the end of time. I don't care what you build right now. I don't need damage. We have Benecuti. We have Blazing Duet. So I just need to make sure that I'm alive during these fights, throw out my flames, make sure that they don't move at all, make sure that those pigs are red. And Blacklist, again, you still have to solve that problem. Mobility, and it's something that, you cannot solve in Mobile Legends. Even though you can reduce the time that you're controlled, there's no item that will, allow for you to be able to walk over onto the Valir.
Man, I love the brute force breastplate pickup on Yawi. The lover boy is coming in, ready to eat some ults and get away with it. So far, so good. He can even build the dominant sites for all I care.
Yeah, at this point, he could go full tank.
That's it.
Except having that Ice Queen wand and having those mana reboots for regen, right? And at that time, all you have to do, again, is land the fireballs, and if Blacklist International decides to engage, you push them back.
And it's not even over yet. Yawi still has 4 levels to go. And if that's the damage from the Impure Rage, I almost forgot the name because we don't see this. We don't see this at all.
Yeah.
So it is, a problem still for Blacklist. So it's kind of a layer of problems for Blacklist. You're still dealing with the first layer. And there's 5 more layers.
And it's not like it's super evident, right? You're staring at 3-0. It's not like Echo's rolling over you. And you're clearing the waves. It does take a while, but yeah, it's a small but long checklist of things to do that you can't seem to get to.
Yep.
Yeah, and which is, again, I just feel like is because of that Valir pick. And what we will see as the game goes further and let's say more Lords are took here, is you're going to see Oheb using the heavy crossbow to just clear the lanes as much as possible. And then you lose a lot of that firepower.
What's Wise doing? What's Wise doing? Look at him. Oh, hello.
Wise. Okay, already using the heavy spin.
Used it to use the cleanse.
Yeah. Edward, with the damage from Benecuti and Sanford.
Okay.
By the way, this is the first time I've seen Oh My Venus rush an Oracle.
Yeah, first turret of the base going down here on the top side. Echo just playing perfectly up to this point. Black shoes coming out from Sanji. Oheb got quite low here. There's the Blazing Duet. Can Benecuti get a kill on that? There's the turnaround. Can they grab it? Carl Teasy taking out Wise here. Echo looking to take another turret in the mid side. Edward trying to hold them back, but he gets forced out of there. And now Echo happy with the 2 turrets of the base down. Do they want to end the game here?
Gonna force it?
It looks like they're going to try to force this one. Haji going in, trying to pull anybody back he can, and it's not going to happen just yet. Sanji with the black shoes again. The focus on the bottom side. Can they get the last turret here to crack open the base of Blacklist International? Benecuti goes in with the Blazing Duet, forcing everybody back. They hold on to it. Yawi with a kill. And now it's Edward trying to do his best, but he falls too. Member after member of Blacklist falling. Haji back up, and that's Oheb grabbing a kill with the burst.
They timed out the ult on Oh My Venus and on Haji, but they forgot about the damage output that Blacklist was blocking.
Oheb's gonna be in trouble here. He had that Cold Altar to help him, but it's not enough as Sanford grabs the kill. And that was Haji. Haji paying him back. Yawi falls. It's chaos here as another member goes down for Blacklist International.
The past 1 minute had more action than the entire game. And Echo once again overloading the sustain from Blacklist International. But here's the thing, again, as we mentioned earlier, if Blacklist is not forced to run away, they can stand their ground. Haji popped his ultimate twice there, and Oh My Venus sustained a lot of the damage coming out from Echo. Even though BeneQT was allowed to hit 2 blazing duets on that fight, Blacklist still holds on.
It's the fact that they have a sleeping dragon on their side. They have Oheb.
Yeah.
And yes, you can time out the heavy crossbow. Yes, you can force out the ults. But if the fights go on like that, a minute and over, then yeah, the DOT from Echo will eventually be countered by the HOT from Blacklist.
The HOTS.
The
I like it. Healing over time.
Yeah.
You know,
The thing is, they also have DOTs.
Themselves.
You know, they have Oheb, they have Haji, they have Edward. As long as they can sustain the damage from Echo, they can put out the same damage type against Echo. Because again, if you look at the side of Echo, you only have to worry about one, the blazing duet, and also the groups. They both run out.
But the thing is, that winning image for Blacks International is still a few steps away.
Yeah.
We're still at the point wherein, yeah, we
More
can only
boxes to clear.
really do high ground
It's
defense.
10K away.
In our base, it's 10K away. Didn't even dare to think about getting Lord. So, again, step 1, defend.
Conceal play going to be committed by Echo. They're going to get this last turret down finally of Blacklist International's base with the Lord. They're going to try to punch this one in possibly. Oheb on the side along with Edward trying to find an angle if they can. Crystal going to be worked on here. Do they have something up their sleeve? But right now,
Edward.
Echo, BeneQT's going to be getting down Wise here. Crystal's still going to be worked on. Oheb now has to go back to the fountain.
Second wave.
There's the blazing duet. The pushback's there. Edward's still low. Echo can't get the crystal just yet. And now they do it as Echo evens it out 1-1.
Now we're in business. Now we're in business. It's a ball game.
It's a grand finals for the Philippines, and Echo did the same what Blacklist did to them on game number 1. Pull out something different.
They didn't let Blacklist play.
Yeah, they were lagging the whole time.
As Midnight put.
As Midnight put, they had the red ping because...
But not.
They didn't actually have the red ping.
Legals check.
Felt like it.
Felt like it. And it's crazy because